In this video, we are going to be talking about different types of atoms or how there can be variation in atoms that are of the same type of atom. And I know that doesn't really make sense, but right now, but if we can make a comparison to something that we do recognize, which is dogs. We know that if you had a very small dog, like this one right here, or if you had a much larger dog, like this one over here, either way, you'd go up to somebody and say, "Hey, can I pet your dog?" You wouldn't say, "Hey, can I pet your small dog?" or "Can I pet your large dog?" You just say, "Can I pet your dog?" But what we can see here is that even though we classify all of these as dogs, there are different types of dogs. Just like trees. We know that that is a tree. You look at any of these and you would just classify that as a tree, but specifically, there are different types of trees, just like there are different types of atoms. We call these different types of atoms isotopes. They are called isotopes, and they are atoms that have the same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons. If you look here, we're dealing only with neon. We got neon here, here, and here. All three of those are neon. All of them have 10 protons, but where they differ is in their number of neutrons. You see that this one has 10 neutrons, this one has 11, and this one has 12. And from our previous lesson where we learned about mass number, we learned that mass number is equal to the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So when we look at these three species of neon, we see that each of them have a different mass because they have different numbers of neutrons. Neon 20 has 10 protons, 10 neutrons. Neon 21 has 10 protons, 11 neutrons. And neon 22 has 10 protons and 12 neutrons. So as we can see here, that even though we would call all of these neon, there are different types of neon that we're going to see in chemistry class. Now, these types of neon can occur in different percentages in nature, and this is the breakdown of how we would see these neons occur in nature, these different isotopes. Neon 20 occurs at a 90.48% abundance, meaning that if I were to have 10 neon species in a bag, just for hypothetical sake, 9 out of 10 times I would grab a neon 20 particle, whereas 0.27% of the time I would be able to grab a neon 21, and then about 10% of the time I would be able to grab a neon 22. So just like we have varieties of dogs, we have varieties of elements, just like we have varieties of trees, we have varieties of elements, and these are what we call isotopes in chemistry class. Now we're going to be able to use these different isotopes, the masses and the percents, in order to solve other things. But it's important to understand what an isotope is before we continue on to more complex topics. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Keep studying your chemistry. We'll see you in the next one.